Hey everybody,
Hey.
I'm Jack Gainer, and I have the distinct honor of introducing Morag for her induction into the Columbus Curling Club Hall of Fame. Morag's been a member of the Curling Club since 2010, which is a fact that I had to ask her about because as far as I'm concerned, she's always been there. I joined the club in 2011, and by that point, Morag was already helping out around the club and being just a known presence. So I don't remember any time that this club has not had her as a member who's been adding to the lifeblood of the club. So I want to talk a little bit to start off about her media involvement. Many of you may have first met Morag at either a Morag Curl clinic or during instruction week, where she's been actively helping to teach and recruit new members pretty much since the beginning. Since she joined first as a brand new curler, teaching teaching Morag curls, and more recently as a level 2 instructor and as a level 1 course conductor. Since 2021, she's also been the chair of the Player Development Committee, leading the charge to organize skill improvement clinics for the membership. Morag's also served as the chair of the Concessions Committee. This, in particular, is a role that doesn't get a lot of attention when it's going smoothly, but everyone notices if it's not. We'll accept into that a little bit. Morag did the research and led the implementation of the first point of sale system that we had at the club. Before that, we had a cash register, but it wasn't connected to anything. So good luck tracking beer sales or merchandise or anything else really. So that advancement, along with her input to the updated system that replaced it, benefits everybody that's able to run a town. At the same time, and maybe more impactful, it benefits and gives additional information to Team Beer and Team Bonspiel and Team Merchandise, and not to mention the treasurer, helping all of those folks make the club run more effectively. So I joined the board for the first time in 2014, and Morag was first elected to the board a year later in 2015. At the end of the 15-16 season, Morag stepped into the role of board chair at the same time that I became president. And what a roller coaster ride that was. Of course, before the 16-17 season even started, we had the fire next door that really threatened our ability to even have a season. There was a massive amount of work to do if we wanted to curl that year, and the response from the club was overwhelming. It was great. It was great to have the support that we did in getting everything cleaned up and assessed and fixed and repaired and replaced and all that. But the number of moving parts that we had made coordinating all that activity really, really challenging. And it's just so easy for the ball to get dropped, for somebody to not get informed so they don't do something because you didn't tell them they had to get done. And during all that chaotic time, and it was really, really something. It's where Morag's leadership really helped. First and foremost with coordinating with the board and all that organization and making sure that everyone was kept up to date. But it went way beyond that as well. So many things that would have been missed just with Morag patiently reminding me to, hey, have you touched base with these people? Have you done this? Have you checked this? And it was something that if it's not there, it just makes meal of works basically. So from that's really what made the biggest difference to me over the course of our time working together. Was just that extra support that made me look a whole lot better than I actually am. So thank you for that. That season, and it's the same season, just in part because of the fire, the board led by Morag developed what I believe was the first strategic plan that the club had. And this was a collaborative effort. There were a lot of meetings, a lot of long hours, but we got the results that we did out of that due in no small part to Morag's consistent efforts to coordinate people and to keep things on track. So once the plan was approved in 2017, we started taking steps to realize that plan. Now, I stepped down as president after the Olympic season in 2018, but Morag stayed on as board chair for 3 more years after that, with the final one being the COVID season of 2020. So for those of you keeping track, that's 2 existential threats to the club that Morag had to face down and had the privilege of dealing with during her time as board chair. So thanks to the kick in the teeth that we had from losing a season, the overall strategic plan had to change a little bit, but the foundation that we built with Morag's leadership is a big part of how we've gotten to where we are in 2025 right now, with the club growing and bigger than it's been ever before. So for all these reasons, there is no one more deserving of this honor. And I am pleased to present this actual trophy to Morag, which is totally going to appear in the room right now, thanks to the magic of the internet.
I have a trophy. You can change shape. That's amazing. So thank you all so much for this incredible honor. To recognize Meg at this community is really, truly humbling. So I want to express my deep gratitude to a lot of people. I'm going to start with my partner, Josh Mullet, who not only suggested that we try curling, but he has been my rock. And Josh and I can still curl together. But only if one of us is scared. I have to know who has the final word. Definitely to Allison Mills, who really believed in me enough to step into my first leadership position as chair of concessions committee. But also possibly she just didn't want to haul all that soda anymore. So I was happy to pass that mantle off to Leanne. Thank you, Leanne. Also definitely to Jack for his really kind introduction and for being my partner in leadership through some really pivotal times, as well as really everybody else who's being inducted here in this class today. They were really part of the success that we had. To the Hall of Fame Committee, and to the club board for selecting me for this honor. But really, most importantly, I want to thank all of you, the entire CCC community, for making this club a great place where I want to spend all of my winter, and I'd probably spend my summer too if we had summer. So when we first stepped onto the ice, Josh and I found, more than a sport, we found a home, and it's really about all of us, all the people. And so when we joined, the club was, I think, about 140 members, but quickly growing because it was an Olympic year. And as a result of that, you could really see that there's a lot of work to be done. And I just found joy in pitching in where it was needed and seeing those results. If you teach a learned curl and you see somebody come in the door and you cover, they have no idea, they leave a curler. Like, you made that transformation. And so really seeing that impact. Or, when you don't have snacks and you don't have big beverages, broom stacking's not as fun. So you can really have that impact. And it really has led to a thriving community that continues to grow. Personally, too, that sense of community was even more profound when Josh had a stroke in 2022. And the outpouring support that we got just really meant the world to us. Thank you. When I ran for the board, it was because I recognized that there was a need for the board, but also a need for new voices and a new perspective. A healthy club thrives on new voices and evolving ideas. And as a librarian and manager, I could bring my skills in organization and planning to the board. And I was fortunate to serve 6 years, as was mentioned, through significant progress and really some pretty significant challenges. And when I see the growth of the club today, I can see the flowering of those seeds that we planted all those years ago. I'm really not one for the spotlight, but I do truly appreciate this recognition. And I know that running a club like the CCT takes the contributions of many. So I just really want to acknowledge all the honorees and each of you for the roles that you play. So my encouragement is to look around and see what you can do, see what you can bring to the club, and jump in and do it. This community is what we make it, and we want to shape this future together. With that growth, there are sometimes challenges and missteps, but that's just part of the process. So one day you too could be here. Just look around, see what seed you can plant, and be part of a great future for the club. Thank you.